there, welcome to O2 Live. My name is Michelle, and today we're doing an O2 stretch class, and you don't need any props for this class, just yourself. We will be listening to some music on my Spotify playlist, which is linked in the details of this video, so go ahead, open the link, and press play now so we can get started. All right, so we're going to get started in a child's pose. You'll bring your toes together, knees as wide as you like, just pick whatever variation you prefer, and reach the hands forward, rest your forehead down onto the floor. And if it feels right for you, let a big breath out of your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. 1 more time. Start to let your body settle here in the pose, hips relaxing back and down. Relax the shoulders, the neck, the muscles of the face and jaw. Start to invite your slow, full breath in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll just breathe for a minute or so as preparation for our movement. Since movement in yoga is an extension of breath, the breath is a natural starting place for us here. It's important to start there. If you have an intention or a specific reason for practicing today, maybe start to connect with that now. Just so we can remember to hold that as we move through this short little class. I like to think of as an intention as an opportunity to practice or embody something that I would like to be more often in my life. So if you want to be more joyful, why not practice being more joyful during your yoga? With your next inhale, we'll start to make our way forward to hands and knees, tabletop position. Once you're here, get your wrists right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We'll start to take a cat-cow movement to warm up. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round the spine, release the head and neck. Continue here at your own pace. Inhale, arch, gaze forward. Exhale, round and release. Can you start to feel how the breath creates the movement? So the inhale relaxes the belly down toward the floor, arching the spine. The exhale draws the belly back in toward the spine, tilting the pelvis and rounding the lower back. Really press into the fingertips here. Continue to move at your own pace for this and all of the movements we do today. And if you feel called, you might start to open your movement up a little bit here. Maybe you want to go a little more side to side or forward and back. Just experiment with your movement a little bit. Notice where in your body you need that little extra movement or release. And coming back to neutral, we'll start to circle the hips, right hip toward the right heel, then to the left. Inhale, forward. So exhale as you sit back. Inhale as you pull forward. Your circles might be big or small or somewhere in between, right? Just feel it out. Next time forward, we'll change directions to go the other way. Good, coming back to center here, we'll take a little twist. So inhale the left arm open. And exhale, release, then we'll switch. Inhale, right arm open. Exhale, release. Inhale, open, just going at your own pace. Exhale to release. You might even circle the arm around wide instead of just reaching up and down. So think of each movement that I demonstrate really as just a starting point. Right? You can start to feel into your own body and figure out what might feel even better or work even better for you. As long as you're connecting with your breath, there's really nothing wrong here, right? You can't do anything wrong if it feels right to you. Good. One more time in each direction. Big breath as you circle around. Last time. Good. Come down, sit back to child's pose again. Take a brief rest. Maybe coming back to that open mouth exhale if you feel the need to release a little bit more. We'll start to take a little flow here. So inhale, tabletop. As you exhale, come back to your child's pose. You can even open mouth exhale there. Inhale, forward. And exhale, sit back. You're welcome to continue just like this. Or if you'd like to also add in a little down dog, you'll tuck your toes, lift up with your exhale. Inhale, back to tabletop. And exhale, back to child's pose, alternating those poses. Inhaling to tabletop. As you exhale, down dog. Inhale, back to tabletop. And again, child's pose. We'll do that 2 or 3 more times through whatever variation you like. It's not about the poses, right? It's more about how we're moving with our breath. So getting out of our head, into our body. Really connecting with the breath as we move in a nice, gentle way. Next time you land in your child's pose, we'll hold there again. Come back to stillness. Come back to your down dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips. We'll pause here for a little stretch. So start to pedal the feet out, side to side. Press evenly into the whole hand, including the fingertips, and let the head and neck just relax. You might even shake yes and no. Let's inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take that stretch for the front of the right hip. And you might even circle the knee around or the ankle, depending on where you feel like you need that movement today. Step the foot forward. For a low lunge, the left knee will lower. Press the hands up onto the thigh. Once you're here, we'll just rock back and forth a little bit. So think about pressing the hips forward as you inhale, and then exhale back. I'm exaggerating the movement greatly so you can see where I'm going, but you might find that you're only moving an inch or 2, and that's totally fine. Inhale forward, exhale press. One more time, come forward here. Pause in your lunge stance. We'll reach the left fingertips up and over, take a little side bend. Your right hand can rest on your hip or your thigh. One more big breath in. As you exhale, release the left hand inside of the right foot. We'll inhale the right fingertips up. Take a twist. One more breath in. As you exhale, release the right hand down. We'll come back to a child's pose to rest, or you could come to down dog. It's up to you. Where do you need 5 to 10 breaths before the second side? Anytime you need that breath out, just let it go. In your own time, make your way back to down dog. Hips lift up and back. We'll inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. So take that stretch. Maybe circling the knee around, or the ankle, or just being still, right? There's no wrong way to go about it. Lengthen the leg long. We'll step through for our lunge. So left foot toward the left hand, the right knee lowers. Slowly come up. Put the hand right on top of the thigh. We'll just inhale forward. And exhale, press out. Again, this does not need to be a big movement. Might be very slight. Next time you come through, find your lunge position. We'll reach the right fingertips up and over this time for a side bend. Your left hand can be at the hip or toward the floor, a block, or even on your thigh. Breathe to expand into the right side. One more big breath in. As you exhale, the right hand comes down, left fingertips up. Take your twist. You can look toward the ceiling, the floor, anywhere in between that feels comfortable for you. One more big breath in. As you exhale, release. Again, we're back to child's pose or your down dog, wherever you prefer to rest. Inhale forward. We'll lower all the way to the belly. So however you like to get there. We're going to pause with the hands underneath the shoulders. And take a few rounds of cobra here. So press the tops of the feet into the floor as you inhale. Lift from the back of the heart. And as you exhale, release. In this one, the breath really does lead the movement. So the inhale is what lifts you up, determines your pace, the depth, and then as you exhale, start to release right away. 3 more times like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale to release. Last time, then we'll pause. Hands underneath the forehead in crocodile pose. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, release. Hands under the forehead, take a pause. Back to cobra again, but with a new setup. So this time, fingertips tent wide outside your mat, elbows point up. Start with the forehead tapped. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, lower your right shoulder toward the ground, look up over your left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist and lower. Opposite side. Continue at your pace, so just alternating. Inhale up, exhale lower. Use your breath to guide the movement. Good, for one more each direction. Last time. This time we'll lift and lower to center. Again, hands under the forehead, or you could pause with one cheek to the mat if you prefer. With your exhale, think about releasing all of the weight of your body into the mat, just for these last couple breaths here. Can you really get so heavy that you almost become weightless? Start to make your way over onto your back, so you can just flip right over. We'll come to a bridge prep position. So here the feet are planted about hip width distance, and heels come in pretty close to your seat. You may be able to brush your heels with your fingertips. You might not. I'm pretty far away there. We'll start with a dynamic bridge. So as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Just do the prep first, so we're not even lifting. And as you inhale, arch your spine, so your tailbone presses down toward the mat. The low back will lift. Exhale, tuck under, right? So it's the same idea as our cat-cow pose. The breath creates the movement, right? The inhale is the arch. The exhale is always the tuck. The belly drawing back toward the spine creates that tucking motion. A little better when I'm not talking. Inhale, arch. Exhale, tuck under. Good. Now you're welcome to stay with this movement if this is feeling really good for your back right now. Otherwise, if you want to lift up to your bridge, next time you exhale, you'll tuck your tailbone under, but you're going to lift off. So press your hips up toward the ceiling, press your feet down and away, and then inhale, roll back down. Good. So if you're lifting, as you exhale, think each part of your spine has its own time to leave. It's like a little ball, right, rolling. Lift up. And then same thing on the way down. You're going to inhale, slowly roll all the way back down. Exhale up. Just taking your time. It doesn't need to be a really high lift. You can see I'm not pressing like way up. Although if that feels good for you today, you're welcome to. One more little addition here. So we'll exhale, roll up. Inhale, reach overhead, just hold. Take a couple big breaths here. Press the feet down and away. With your next exhale, slowly keep reaching back through the fingertips. We're going to roll the spine all the way down. So slow roll down. And release the hands. Hands can come wide or even onto the belly and the chest. Feet together, knees apart for Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a pause here. So as we start to wind down and we stop moving and we come into a bit more stillness, are you able to stay in the present moment? How can you decide to come back to this moment over and over again? Start to close the Legs will hug the knees into the chest. You might rock side to side a little bit or just be still. Extend the arms out to a T or a cactus position, depending on your space. We'll lower the knees over to the right for a spinal twist. So knees right. Your left shoulder will probably lift a little bit. No big deal. Think about breathing in to expand into that stretch to create the opening. And as you exhale, releasing all of your weight into the floor underneath you. Let the breath be full, but not strenuous. So we're not forcing it. We're just allowing it to open. One more breath into this side. As you exhale, rock back to center, and we'll switch knees to the left. Think about releasing anything that keeps you from relaxing with your exhale. Can you just let it be for the next couple minutes? One more big breath. As you exhale, roll center again. Knees to chest or a happy baby stretch if you'd like. So you can reach for the feet or even behind the knees to draw the knees in toward the shoulders. Little rock side to side. And when you feel ready, we'll come and stretch out long for a brief Shavasana today. So just a few minutes. If you know you want longer than that, you can just turn me off now. So reach the legs out long, arms come wide. Feel free to place a blanket or a pillow or something underneath the backs of the knees or the backs of the head if you need a little support. We'll just come to rest here for a few minutes. So when we arrive in Shavasana, it's not just a shape, it's a shift in how we're interacting internally. So we're going to let go of any sense of guidance over the breath. Just let the breath move at its own natural pace and depth. We let go of any effort or controlling in the body. So can you feel where your body connects with the floor and allow yourself to relax into that support completely? Especially the muscles of the face, the hands, the feet. And then lastly, we release the focus of the mind, but we don't let go of that awareness, right? So we're still aware of our breath, aware of our body, aware of our thoughts. We're just not controlling them. Slowly start to invite your full breath back in. Really allowing that breath to energize your entire body. Maybe that breath inspires a little movement in the fingers or the toes, Rock of the head side to side or a long stretch overhead, whatever feels natural for you as you begin to move. In your own time, you'll slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. You're welcome to roll to one side and pause first or simply sit up. No rush to get there. Just come to take a seat once more here. Sit up nice and tall. You can rest your hands on your lap. Hands to heart center or over the chest. Maybe come back to that intention one more time if you set one earlier. So is that something you'll continue to embody as you move on with your day? Or maybe something new comes to you. Maybe you're a little more clear now after that little movement break. Let's take one more big breath in. As you exhale, release the hands, blink the eyes open. Thank you all for checking out O2 Life. I'll see you next time.